What's up? Good evening. Good evening. This is your boy, David the Night Wolf. David the Night Wolf Jr. Just come with some joy, tides, and love. Today it's gonna be talking about a series of relationships. Um, if not relationships, it's gonna be a lot of other things that comes into mind because not only our nations been plagued with violence, but we're talking about relationships. We're talking about family. We're talking about everything and anything that's under the sun. Um, it gets complicated through times when you're in a relationship or you're not in a relationship, but when you're in a relationship, things can go a tad bit different from being in a marriage. Um, there's violence everywhere. There's violence. There's not only physical violence. There's mental violence. Not only mental violence. There's violence that can devastate you at all like costs. I mean, when you're in a relationship with somebody, you don't expect for them to be violent, emotionally, mentally, physically, or spiritually. You figure that it is your time to shine, and you figure that it's not going to happen to you, but it end up happening. So, you see my shirt? It's wolf. It's wolf. That's why I'm a night wolf. Don't worry, I got some merch coming real soon. It won't be here until the 16th, but I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna rock it on here and send a couple out to people. Um, but uh, but back what I was saying, in relationships and marriages, there's totally two different. There's two sides of the coin. It's a flip side to everything you have ever known or you thought you know. So in a relationship, there's violence, physical, not only physical, mental, not only mental, but psychological, spiritual. Some people don't know when to just be like, yo, I'm done this relationship. I'm done. I'm done this marriage. I'm done. No, they love the toxicity that's in it. They love the fact that a woman can beat on them, a man can beat on them, especially men that's in relationships with these women and that think it's cool to beat on them. You think it's cool to hit women, but it's not. I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you were younger, did you ever get it from your parents like you should never put your hands on a woman? Whereas though a woman should never put their hands on a man. Some women think it's cool to put their hands on a man, and then when a man retaliates and knock them the hell out, well, it's a big thing. It's lawyers called, there's cops called, restraining orders. But I understand. But I understand. At the most, at the most of it, it's basically trying to find your center, trying to understand what actually leads you to being in a relationship with that. Like, it doesn't matter if the relationship is fresh, but you can actually show traces of violence in that person by their mannerisms, the way they are emotionally, mentally, and physically. If you feel as though that they like cut off from the world a little bit, but it's probably something from their past that made them literally go that way. Sometimes you have to realize when to get out. It's never good to be in a toxic relationship. It's never good to be in a toxic relationship. It's never good to be in an abusive relationship either. Um, in families, you have, little girls and little boys that's been molested by their parents or by a brother or a sister. Um, you got parents that sells their kids, to a person for sexual favors just because they need that fix. But then you got some of them perverts out there that's literally not in that's not really in it to win it. You have them just for the simple fact that at all times. And it's that simple fact and that term you have to realize that in those type of relationships, they're not good at all. Especially if a person is trying to be manipulative, a person is trying to not be there for you fully, to understand the well-being and the foundation of everything. You know what I'm saying? Um, we're not talking about just physical abuse. We're talking about mental. It weighs on you. It weighs on you. Like you ever been a battle in your head? Have you ever went to battle in your head where you had to figure out if you want to be with this person, if this person telling you the whole facts about themselves, the person hiding little dirty secrets? It builds up. It builds up. But in relationships, it's supposed to be trust, supposed to be understanding. But it's kind of hard to earn somebody's trust when you constantly out here doing dirty stuff. Um, Relationships is one of the compounds of trying to start out a better life, trying to have a better life. When you're in an abusive relationship or abusive marriage, things tend to not go your way. Things tend to not go your way. Sorry, y'all couldn't hear me. Do you think it's one of those things where a man can put his hand on a woman and a woman can put his hand on a man? No, it's very volatile. Two people with high ass tempers that don't know nothing from nothing, but the only thing they know is they love each other. But if you love each other, why continue putting your hand on each other? Why continue to beat each other down emotionally, mentally, and physically? Why try to rip each other apart? So when I say danger, violence, you know, trust, communication, when I talk about when I'm talking about having a real relationship, none of that fake stuff. Oh, that's my wife, or that's my hubby, or that's my boyfriend, or that's my girlfriend. No, no. It's either that's your man or that's your woman. And you can't keep doing keystrokes to think that it's cool. Yo, I know many of people, and it's on Instagram and stuff like that. And I keep track of things. I just don't say nothing. When you're constantly keystroking when you constantly keystroking your phone, right? When you constantly keystroking you on the internet, are you talking to somebody? Why are you talking to somebody? Let me reiterate. When you on the phone with somebody, or you shooting, or you doing FaceTime with somebody, but instead of them paying attention to what's on the phone, they paying attention to what's on the phone. They paying attention to the text message or the message that they got. They're not really listening to you. They say they listen to you, and they can recall some of the things that you said, but not some of the major things that you said. Again, this is all tied into having a fucked up relationship. But I'm just going to keep it straight good, straight gangster with you. Because at the end of the day, if you find yourself in one of these relationships and that person is not responding, it's not communicating, it's always talking to someone that had nothing to do with the life that they're trying to set up. If they try to vibe off that person, no matter who it is, if it's not family, I'll say this. If it's not family or the one you with, I say fuck them. Because at the end of the day, ain't that much fucking friendship in the world that I actually take me off my goal that I'm supposed to set for my kids and the person I'm with. Fuck that. Why? You got to keep it pushing. But again, when it comes down to having a volatile relationship, I mean something that's violent, something that, you know, men and women put each other through, been putting each other through for centuries. It's either that physical abuse when they throwing hands, when they gripping you up, when they smacking you, when they stopping you, when they throwing shit at you, or physical. That's that physical. When that emotional abuse is basically when they're talking down to you. You're not gonna be nothing nasty, disgusting, fat, chunky, skinny, this, that, and the third about you. Listen, they say things, they do things to break your spirit, but it's up to you to keep your spirit intact. It's called self-esteem for a reason. It's self-esteem of yourself. Cat Williams said it best. How somebody gonna make you feel bad about yourself when it's self-esteem of yourself? That's why it's called self-esteem. But most people hold on to things that is so damaging, there's no future for them. They always living in the past. So you gotta put your big girl shorts on, put your big boy drawers on, and move and just move on to it. And I'm saying all this like earlier. I went to sleep and I was asleep. I was sleeping until like I guess like four something. And I be having these crazy dreams. Not only crazy dreams, because I could say 99% of my dreams have come true, except for that 1%. The 99% of the dreams that actually came true was people that did shit behind my back and I didn't even do. People that always talked down to me was just hiding things. But then they tried to reverse the process. Oh, I got this video, or I got this picture, or you know what? I got this, I got that. Listen, my godmom and my grandma once said it often. If you got it, prove it. Stop talking shit and be about your shit. But that life I had is no more, you know? You know what I'm focusing on? I'm focusing on why do people feel as though at times it's all right to be in a violent relationships. It's a toxicity. They draw in by it. They love to get, they love that feeling. What type of feeling you can get by being in an abusive relationship? I know men that hit on women. I know women that hit on men. And I don't agree with none of it. I really don't. If you're gonna lay your hands on a woman, lay your hands on me. Women, if you're gonna lay your hands on a man, prepare to get your ass beat. Like literally. If you literally gonna put your hands on a man, prepare to get that ass whipped. Just like a man. That for women, that for men that love to put their hands on women without a woman putting their hands on them, come hit me. Come on. I enjoy it. Because 5 times out of 10, your mama or your kids will be wearing them black dresses to your funeral. Just saying. Because I don't believe in hitting women. All my life, I never hit a woman. I got hit. I got hit twice by females. Twice. Was it a good feeling? Fuck no. Did I tee off on them? Hell no. You want to know why? Because I know how to keep my composure. You see, if that was the 16, 15, 14-year-old David, I would have been back in jail because I would have killed him. That's simple. But you got to learn when to literally just bow down, just bow out, especially in relationships that are not good for you, in marriages that are not good for you. Why keep living it? Why keep going through the same thing over and over again? And you sick and tired of it, but you're still there. You're not happy, leave. If you find things on the internet more interesting than the current person you're with or your relationship, leave. Because obviously it's more important. And I call bullshit on females. This is why I call bullshit on females. Y'all are so interested in getting in everybody else's fucking business and you don't know how to mind your own. Same thing with men, but women do it more. Y'all all up in motherfucking business. Like, yeah. And y'all easily to befriend. Somebody can befriend y'all. Yeah, let's be friends. You know, you my homegirl now. What the fuck? Back in the day, old people used to say, if you that easily to befriend, if you that easily to take in people, you a fucked up individual. Because when you busy getting in people's lives and in people's business, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna come down hard on you. Most people won't admit it, but when you mind somebody else's business, it's no longer their business, it's your business. So stay the fuck out of it. Like on some real shit. And this goes to 99% of the fucking majority of the women out there that like to get all up in people's fucking business. That love to be the center of attention, just like men. Some men, just like some women. But this is what I don't understand. Why is the fact that y'all love getting up in each other's business when you're not paying attention to your fucking own? Some of y'all got kids you gotta fucking raise. Some of y'all gotta worry about getting out the hellhole you in. Some of y'all have to worry about having a better life instead of focus on everybody the fuck else. So be a mother, be a woman, not one of these fucking thought chicken heads out here. Raise your kids correctly. Stay out of motherfucking people's business. Stay in your lane. Men, you do the same fucking thing. Y'all literally gossip more than females do. Period. Yo, nigga, you know, I saw Keisha with this nigga. Yo. If your lifeline is your fucking phone and you constantly texting motherfucking random people that have nothing to do with you setting up your damn life, why the fuck are you? Why are you eating? Why are you a fucking adult? Because when you kids, you have, you know, your mom and your dad, they control that aspect of your life. You know, we grow up to leave that life behind. But some people grasp that and take it on to the adulthood. What's wrong with y'all? Something wrong with y'all. Yo, something is shaky about y'all. Because y'all always complain about men this and men that, men this and men that. But literally, deep the fuck down, y'all some fucked up individuals. Some of y'all some fucked up individuals. Because y'all can't seem to mind y'all fucking business. And that shit is tiring. Because you always see a female up into another female business or another person business that have nothing to do with you. But you want to be so excited. Yeah, this my homegirl. This a friend of mine from years and years ago. I'm up in this business. I can get some advice. How you gonna get some fucking advice where the same advice you giving, you can't even take it your damn self? And the advice that you giving have nothing to do with you. Or you want to give your opinion. Fuck your opinion. Pay attention to yourself in your life. Period. Same thing with guys. Nigga, don't give relationship period. Don't give relationship opinions. Don't give don't give marriage opinions. Don't give friendship opinions because at the end of the day, some of y'all niggas have a hard time keeping your relationship together, keeping your family together, and y'all in and out of like friendships like a motherfucker. Yo, that's my nigga right there. That's my dog. But then you turn your back on him because that dude said something about him that he was talking about you, but it's not true. And you try to figure out what the hell one thing has to do with another. Now you lost your friend, then you and your friend beefing. That's why I don't fucking have friends. I have associates. I don't believe in no fucking friends. Like, I got one friend. Her name is Jasmine. She's also my baby. She's also the love of my life. She's also my wife. Then I got my other friend, my daughter. I mean, she's my princess. And she means a lot to me. But when you can sit up there, now you inviting everybody else into your circle. It's no longer your circle. It's now theirs. And this is something that I ask a lot. And some people get the correct answer. Some people get the wrong fucking answer. But why is it that women, some of you, are so legitimately getting into everybody else's fucking business and not minding your own? It doesn't matter if they ask for your fucking opinion. Be polite as fuck. This has got nothing to do with you. But yeah, y'all drop y'all 2 cents in it. Like, y'all, come on. What the fuck? I don't get y'all. I don't fucking get you. I have another daughter. And I don't speak about her much because I haven't seen her for a long, long time. Her name's Mackenzie. Okay? And, well, recently, I did get in contact with her through my mom. And she was like, Dad, we got to talk. I'm like, you remember me? She's like, Dad, of course, I remember. I have your picture, you and Mom. I'm like, fuck, what picture are you talking about? The one with you in a cowboy hat. When you was wearing that little choker, it looked like a little just gonna choke the hell. I was like, oh, watch your mouth. She's like, oh, sorry, Dad. But, I was like, all right, what you want to talk about? So she brought up a situation where she's starting to want to branch out from her grandparents, but she's not in that stage of knowing the whole entire facts about life. The grandma and grandpa try to break it down to her, and she's hard-headed. She's more hard-headed than her fucking mom. And that's on period. And she was like, Dad, I need to ask you a question. There's nowhere else to turn. I'm like, why not your uncles? Why not your aunts? I don't trust them. I like, but that's your family too, right? That's your family. Didn't your grandma and your grandpa give you the best of life? Did they take care of you up to this age? She's like, yeah. Don't they spoil you? Yeah. She was like, Dad. But I keep telling grandma and grandpa that money doesn't buy my affection. Money doesn't buy my love. I was like, that's true. That's true. So what you want to talk about? She was like, well, Dad, listen. I heard a rumor that you in Texas. Is that true? I'm like, no, there's not a rumor. I'm in Texas. I was like, who told you? She was like, Grandma. I was like, who, Diane? She was like, no. Mom. I was like, huh? She was like, my mom. I was like, all right. I was like, my mom? She was like, yeah, your mom. I was like, all right, Grandma. You can call Grandma. So she was talking to me, and I was feeling her. I was feeling the things she was saying. Almost brought me to tears. Almost. Until she said, that Christy ended up getting in a fight with her boyfriend and he hit her. Huh? First of all, who Christy? You know, mom's sister? I was like, oh damn. I forgot about that. She's like, how you gonna forget about the family? I was like, no, I didn't forget about the family. I just didn't want to pay that any attention. Because you gotta understand, you was just a baby when you was taken away from me. And I only got to spend a couple weeks with you. Because we did live in Philly. I mean, we did live in Missouri, but we ended up moving down to Philly thinking that everything was gonna be cool. But no, things wasn't cool. Good evening. And the thing that always got me heated was the way it happened. And you know, my baby, she was there with me through the whole entire thing. You know, hear about lies about Mackenzie. She was dead, now she's alive. Um, a lot, a hell of a lot. But, and I told her that I never forgot her. Never forgot her. And I still got pictures of her. I got pictures of both of my daughters. Because she asked me, did I forget about her? Do I still love her? I was like, yo, you're going to be my daughter. You're my daughter. She was like, yeah, I know you're not my biological father. I was like, yeah, I knew that day was going to come, and your grandma, your grandfather explained it to you, like why and how. She's like, so what happened to my dad? I was like, well, let's just say he was one of those dudes that thought it would be a fun game of getting somebody pregnant and leaving. Literally, wasn't even there for your birth. And when your mom told him about you, he gave up all his rights. So that's when I came into play. I took you under my wing, and you know, I thought me and you was like gonna have that life, you know. But your mom, in her best interest, ended up taking you away from me, and that broke my heart, and that kind of had me thinking that getting attached to a kid, a child that's not even mine, I shouldn't even do no more because it's so heartbreaking once that's taken away. It is. Especially if you feel as though you got to compete with the baby father. And you know what my daughter told me? She was like, Dad, listen, it doesn't matter if he lay down with mommy, it doesn't matter. But at the end, you're the one that was taking care of me. You're the one that literally did everything you needed to do. You was there when I was born. You were the first one that hold me beside the doctor. You gave me my first bath. I'm like, you remember all that? She's like, yeah, I remember all that. So I'm like, well, it was kind of hard getting attached. It's like it's hard getting attached to a child because you don't know. And I told her if you ever get into one of those relationships where the father already has kids and the mother's not in their life, but they're in their life, don't feel as though that you got to have a competition with him. If he still want to be in his baby mama life, let him. If it gets to the point that you feeling that he's doing things unregular and they don't have nothing controlling to the kids, leave him. I'm not gonna set. I'm not gonna have my daughter on some setup dummy mission, and that's for both of them. I'm not. Fuck that. I'm not. I'm not gonna have my kids on some dummy mission because they get into a relationship. The man already has kids, and it's the baby mom in there. But they're not in the life, but they're in the life. But the dude's on the phone, he's texting, he's on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and just talking. But it have nothing to do with the child listening. And I hope my daughters look back on this video and watch it. Listen, sweethearts, princesses, leave that man alone because at the end of the day, his attention is not on you. His attention is on his baby mom. And the last thing I want you to do is be heartbroken or set yourself up for failure. And I'm keeping it as real as a motherfucker. Being a person, being a man that I am, when I see something wrong with a situation, I see something wrong with a situation. And that type of situation, my girls ain't gonna go through. They're not gonna go through what I went through. You're not. You're not. And I put this on everything I love. Because why? My thing is, when you get into a relationship, right? It's supposed to be you and that person. That person tells you about this person, and you ask them simple questions. And being a woman, some women are very observant. Very. And being a woman, you ask the following questions. Am I going to be the only woman in your life? Do I have to sit up there and deal with you having phone calls with your baby mom? Do I have to deal with her coming over? Do I have to deal with her and you texting or talking if it's not pertaining to your kids? And I want you to literally think about this for a minute. For all the women out there, the women that can think drastically and strategically, would you deal with a man that still deal with a baby mom and he's calling her, he's texting her, and sometimes it's not even about his kids? Would you literally step to this man, or would you literally talk to him? Hey, listen, I'm feeling some type of way, and if he say, yo, that's just my baby mom, you gotta chill. If he says that, he's defending all his actions, and that's when you have to take the alpha approach. This is the alpha approach. Okay, that's good. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. And you keep continuing looking at that. You look at the pattern. If that pattern become a bigger pattern than what it is, you tell them this, yo, I'm gone. Spare yourself the pain before you get attached. Because it's not all what it seems. Because you will actually have to not even try to compete, you have to worry about stupid shit. But not only stupid shit, you have to worry about things that are so real that it gets to you. They don't play church on you because it's real. I was taught to always protect your heart and your personality and your mentality, but protect your heart. Because you got some women. You have some women. Now, to the men out here that's raising little boys, you do got women out here that's still in touch with their baby father. I lie to you not. They want to make amends. I lie to you not. What do you say and what do you do to protect your little boy that is different from protecting your little girl? It's the same. You just got to learn how to talk to him strategize-wise. If your son feels though that he's just getting away, or he's just another cog or another peg in the clock, and she think it's cool to be talking to her baby dad all crazy, text messages sometimes, chilling with the family and shit. You have to realize these three things. He's always gonna be there, right? She's always gonna be there, right? But do you gotta be there? Ask yourself that question. Are you willing to go through that? Are you willing to go put up with that bullshit because she don't know that you're now in a relationship? She don't know that your son or your daughter calling you daddy, but yet she's looking for confirmance from her baby pop, acknowledgement, and trying to build a rapport because they don't want no bad blood. Think about that. Really, you got to think about that because you got to have a strong stomach to deal with that bullshit. A strong ass stomach. And most women don't fucking know. They don't know. They don't know how crazy it is being a man, knowing that they have to deal with the shenanigans and the bullshit that they put them through when it comes down to their baby pop. Now, if the shoe was on the other foot and that man had a baby mom, right? And he was talking to the baby mom and all that shit, how would you feel? You would feel highly offended. And that's period. Any woman will tell you it's disrespectful to do that when you're in a relationship or when you're married. It's good to try to build a rapport, but it's never good to talk to your ex or your baby dad or your ex-husband only because y'all have a kid together. That's when I hate the fuck that they use kids as fucking crutches. That what gets on my fucking nerves. Oh no, he's the father, you know? He gotta know who his daughter is. And they run that shit so much into the ground. You like, what the fuck wrong with you? Oh, you're willing to lose what we have for this nigga. I got you. Or are you willing to lose this relationship because of this female? I got you. When it comes down to it, it's always one of those dominant things. It's one of those, yo, put your pride aside and say how you fucking feel about the situation. Don't hold on to that because it's going to kill you slowly and devour you. It's gonna tear you up on the inside. With me, different story. Different story. I have been in relationships where baby fathers were implied. And where I feel as though that I had to compete. But you know what? You know what literally made the game change? What was the big game changer? When an old head, he was like 63 years old, his name was Pops. He owned a crab shack on the corner of down on 5th and York. 5th and York in North Philly. I used to work at that crab shack. He spit some game with me. He was like, listen, youngster, you know it's hard for a man to literally be in a relationship with a woman that already has kids. You want to know why? Because that nigga is always going to be in her phone book somewhere. She always got something that's going to remind her of them. So this is what you do, youngster. This is what you do. And I never had it played over and over in my head until he kept drilling it in my head until the point where I was opening clams and I stabbed myself with a sharp knife. That was painful. I mean, it was truly painful. I still got the scar from it. And I was trying my best not to stab myself, but I ended up stabbing myself right through the thumb. Right through the thumb. But anyway, he was like, yo, listen, what you need to do is uproot yourself because it's not your situation. That is not your child. He was like, youngster, you know you got free range? I'm like, what you talking about, Pops? Yo, you the only nigga I know, the only little nigga I know that have no kids out here biologically. So why the fuck? Why are you stressing over a situation where as though you can easily get out of? You have no ties. And I didn't know what he was talking about because back then I wasn't in relationships. I was worrying about making my money. Hell, when you make $500 a day at a crab shack and you bring it home, that's a lot of money. That's what type of job I had. Trump rage over election coverage. You got this dumb nut again. But it's just tires spins in your head when you think about it. And when you finally get into your first one, your first relationship, and she says she got like 3 kids, 4 kids, and you like, huh? Is it by the same dude? Is it by the same dude or a different dude? And gonna find out she got like 2 different baby pops. And you like, huh? Is this what you want? Me being a I was like, yeah, you know what? I can handle this. Yeah, I mean, I put what the old head said on the back burner for right now. Let me see what this is. I didn't like it one bit because it was like every hour on the hour, the fucking chick was hiding shit like she was the CIA. Like every time her phone rang, she left. Every time she got her text, she left. And she ain't come back for like 45, 15 minutes. 45 to 45 minutes. 40 to 45 minutes. And I'm like, hey, yo, what's up? Where you going? Nothing. I just had to answer this phone call, this text. It was a bill. It was a bill. Then I got hit. And I asked one of my friends, Alejandro Hernandez. He's a computer geek. I'm like, yo, you know what shadowing is, right? He's like, yeah, it's a program that you can actually install or have a person install without them knowing it. I'm like, yo, listen. I want you to send a ghost uplink. You can disguise it as an email or a text message to this chick. Come to find out, it was more than what it seems. Dude, I'm live in a motherfucker. Oh, good, bro. It's my little brother right here. He's you gotta excuse me on that. Man, relationship me and my brother got it's crazy.
I just come in here to get reloaded.
This video is sponsored by Heineken, the green bottle drink. Shit. I know YouTube gonna be looking at this and be like, what the hell, Heineken? Why does he got Heineken? My brother's fitting to get fucked up. It's his day off. He deserves it. He works hard. He works hard. He have no kids. He's not in no relationship. No gray hair. Me, I have 2 girls. One's 9 going on 10. And one fucking 16 going on 17. Then I'm in a relationship with this cool woman. You know, she's a. Well, I get back. I'll get to that story after I'm done this. But he wrote the program for me. He uploaded into things. She opened up an email, whatever, said it was like from a credit card company or something. And what happened was it merged into her phone, right? And every text message she sent out and received, I received. And I was like, and I played it cool for about a month or two. I got all her text messages coming in, all when she sent it out. Yo, she communicate more with her baby fathers than she actually did me. Talking on some sneaky shit, and it wasn't about the kids, just the kids. Yo, that was completely jacked up. So I was like, yo, I got something to show you. I was like, you said every time you get a call and you get texts about bills. I was like, oh, it's about bills? Showed her the phone. I was like, so he's about a bill, right? He's about a bill. He's about a bill. Oh, what y'all talking about? About payments of bills, right? And her face dropped. She was like, how? I was like, listen, I wasn't born yesterday. I was prepared for situations like this. My old head put me on to game. So peep this shit. Since you have a rapport with your baby fathers, right? I'm gonna exit your life. And she's like, no, bitch. I'm gonna exit your life. You're cool. You communicate more with them than me. I'm good. So I rolled over, moved out. Rolled out. Got out of the relationship because it was toxic. It was bad. It was bad for my health. Then I ended up getting into a couple of more that were terrible. It's always kids involved. Always. And I'm like, damn, why am I getting into relationships and it's kids already been made? And I have to put up with these no good nothing dumbass baby fucking fathers. And I gotta deal with the females that's actually talking to me and still talking to them each fucking day. What can I do? So I developed a cipher program and a cipher plan for myself. What I did was I ignored the fact that there was another nigga involved. I really did. I ignored the fact that it's gonna always be that one particular female that holds on to that nigga. Because that's that nigga. They got a kid by him. They wouldn't just hold on to same face. But at the same time, when they holding on to him the same face, they looking stupid at the same time. Sorry. That's how it is. So I get into a new relationship. This relationship, I knew this woman for a long time. Went to school together and all that. School. I moved back from Missouri. Um, I moved back to Philly for the purpose of seeing how Philadelphia changed. I went up to my school. I seen her just as gorgeous as she can be. I seen her smile. She got this captivating smile. It's the bee's knees. But when it came down to it, it felt like I already knew her from somewhere. So, you ever had this feeling or this recollection of you knowing somebody, you already knowing somebody? I believe, and I'm always on that level. This was the person that I had a future with in a past life. Because we can feel each other's emotions. We can feel when something's going on. But she can actually feel when I'm sleeping, when I'm not sleeping. Ain't that a hoot? She can feel when something's going on with me. I can feel when something's going on with her. The alarms ring when you can actually feel what your mate is feeling. With her on a whole different level, she's she's something else. I'll tell you that. She's that type of woman. She's not afraid to speak her mind. But at the same time, she's humble. I give you that. She's very timid when it comes down to it. Loving, caring, nurturing, fulfillment. With her, I didn't have to worry as much. But when you go back in time and you have a lot of time to think, a lot of room to play with, you try to figure out what was the best move you have ever made. What was the final what was the final punchline? What was the final what was the final thing that got you to that point of, hey yo, I just gotta look. I just gotta go. So to you men and women, I want y'all to know something. And I'm not giving no advice. I'm just talking. Because I don't know what y'all going through. I don't know what I don't want to know what y'all going through. Because at the end of the day, that's none of my business. And I'm not king getting in people's business. No more. But I can tell you this. If you feel as though that you're in a relationship that it has abusive tendencies, lack of communication, self-satisfaction, manipulation, lying, distrust, remember, you can always ghost. Go ghost. Always go ghost. Because they knew what they was doing. They find ways to hurt you and they look at you like they're innocent. There's nothing innocent about your putting your marriage in danger or putting your relationship in danger or jeopardy. There's nothing cute about that. Because you gotta worry about things when you're in a relationship or when you're married. You gotta worry about, you know, men putting hands on their women, men putting hands on kids. That's another thing I don't play about. If you're not chastising your kids, giving them a spanking, popping a hand just once, not going out of control, ripping them up, throwing them against the wall, trying to throw them down the steps to kill them. Chastising means, listen, I love you, but I gotta whoop your ass. So you gotta understand you're not supposed to do this. But then you got some parents that don't do that. That's why there's a lot of motherfucking murders in the world. They kids never was fucking chastised. And wondering why he held up or she got pregnant young. The parents didn't teach them the right things, or the right way to go about things. That's just that. When a parent can admit to themselves that they ain't raised their kids correctly, that's where it begins. It starts there. You gotta raise your kid, your son, not to be a gangster, not to get involved with the wrong people, not to run the street corners, not to sell dope, not to argue and fight over no female. You gotta teach your daughter not to dress like she's a prostitute, not to have any tight things tight on, things too revealing, Because you got some females out there that like to have their titties up, so a man can see cleave, or the color of their bra, or tight ass pants that down the line gonna give them real bad yeast infections with they kitty cat, someone like bacon bits and hot dog water. We're in the world where men look at little girls and men look at their mother and be like, damn, it's crazy. But oh shit, DHS. But listen, I'm about to take it down. I just wanted to talk about that. But look, be mindful in your relationships. Women, you be mindful and know that you can chase off a man by the stupid shit y'all do. Men, be mindful about the women you with. Men, be mindful of the women you get tangled into because it's always going to be a problem no matter what. Women, be careful on how you dress, how you walk, how you talk, who you let in your fucking circle. Don't be a sucker for a friendship because friendships get devoured by a lot of things. Always remember, put self first in your family because that's what this is about. It's about pointing out the defects in bad relationships and bad marriages, the dangers, the consequences of not only child molestation but abuse in relationships. It's almost time for dinner. In many ways, you have to be mindful. You got ignorant females out there. You got ignorant males out there. Man, fuck what he's saying. I'm gonna do whatever. He don't know what the fuck he talking about. Listen, you have no idea, no idea what the fuck I know and what I've been through. Some of y'all motherfucking females out there, scandalous than a motherfucker. Some of y'all dudes out there, scandalous like a motherfucker. You think I care about your fucking opinions on what I say? Hell no. Because at the end of the day, the more mature audience, I'm saying mature, women that are 45, 55, 60 and up will agree that no man or no woman should be in a relationship where as though they feel as though they have to compete with a past where they're trying to live in a present. And that's on period. Like I said, my bark is worse than my bite. But remember, always watch out for each other. Take care of your family. Family first, man. Family first. Watch out for your kids. Be mindful of your kids. Be mindful of who you bring around your kids. Stop taking your kids out to these places where it's adults. Stop taking your kids out to these places where motherfuckers get drunk, get high, and you doing THC, you eating fucking edibles. Listen, if you got friends that'll give you fucking edibles, if you got friends that'll give you cocaine, crack heroin, make you shoot up, those are no friends of yours. And I don't condone on it. I used to smoke weed back in the day. That was back in the day. I'm fucking 36 years old. You think I got time to be getting high, getting drunk? Fuck no, I love my health. and I love my state of mind. So for y'all, I'm not knocking y'all. I'm not knocking y'all for doing it. But hey, it's your consequence and repercussions at the end of the day. But listen, I gotta go. It's dinner time. This is David, the Night Wolf only, and I like to say, "Ow!" Love you all. Oh, by the way, I got something that's going to be dedicated to my daughter Vanessa and my lovely, lovely wife, Jasmine Rodriguez. And yes, I said her full government name on here. So stay tuned. It's going to get hot. It's going to get better. It's going to be complicated. But listen, it's always a pleasure. Holla at you later. In